Good morning, good morning, good morning. Celeste Silver Cord here. As always, if you need a reading or to message me or anything else like that, all the information will be in the links below. You can always feel free to join us over in the Coven, the Silver Cord. For any more magical knowledge or anything else like that that's coming in. Whew. Now, I titled this video this morning, Let Shifts Happen. We get so wrapped up in, you see that? We get so wrapped up in these little things, little irritants, little things that we cannot fix. Like the fact that I have a fruit fly. It's bothering the hell out of me. It just flew into my light bulb over here. Noticed the other day, I noticed in the video, I thought I saw something flying around. That was not a fruit fly. I don't know what that was. Could have been just dust in the light, but you never know. But yeah, it's time for people to allow shifts to happen. Like, and some of you guys are doing beautiful. Some of you guys are doing beautiful. You're shifting. You're allowing shifts to happen. You're recognizing toxic cycles. You're separating bank accounts. You're separating phone bills, and you are getting ready to make your own shifts. I just feel bad for those who fight the shift so hard, because I don't know. You can't keep fighting change all the time. That's why you're so unhappy. You got to let things change. Letting them change is how you get happy. And you got to allow things to change, and you have to not only allow them to change, but allow yourself to change. Allow your perceptions to change. And you have to let go of the past. You have to let go of the past. It's never coming back around again, And And when it's all said and done, whenever you feel bad about someone you've had to let go of in the past, don't dwell on the fact. Don't dwell on the ending, right? Never dwell on the ending. If you look back at the good times. Definitely look back on the things that you fell in love with that person, or, what you enjoyed about them and their energy and everything. And yeah, because those times were a blessing. We have this horrible habit of just dwelling on negative stuff from the past, and and then that's what makes you feel stupid. That's when you start getting upset. I can't believe I stayed with this person so long. I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I did. No. That person has good qualities. There's a reason you love them. And yeah. I don't know. That's part of the human condition, is to dwell on the negative and forget the positive. For some reason, most people seem to just retain mostly negative memories. And I don't understand that part. You dwell on the negative memories and then you forget the good memories. Now, I'm not saying just that, some people stay in relationships because they're attached to whatever, that euphoric from the beginning of the relationship, and they keep holding on, hoping that it's going to turn better again, and it doesn't. And then it comes time to end it, and then it's a big fight, and then everybody's like, oh, and then they just dwell on all the negative aspects, and it's like, well, it wasn't like that in the beginning. You did get a glimpse of that person's ideal self, and it is not your fault if they couldn't hold on to it. No. Oh, well. Looks like this will be a quick one today. No notifications went out. Ooh, and I was a few minutes late, but it will be all right. See what the cards have to say today. Those two out. Good morning. Should be interesting. No notifications went out, then I will just be getting random people in here today. All right. So down here, I've got the forgetting oneself and alone in the world. Now, forgetting oneself. This is the half mask. This is the lotus flower. This is the numbing yourself to what is going on. This is trying to fake your way through a shift. This is trying to, if I just numb myself and just ride out this shift, everything's going to be okay. And you're staying somewhere that you don't want to be. Good morning, love. And did you get a notification? Because mine didn't go off either. And I got alone in the world. So I like the alone in the world card mainly because this card doesn't mean you're genuinely alone. You'd be surprised how many people are, yeah, you didn't either. It'll be all right. A lot of people don't realize how lonely you can be in a house full of people. And that's what happens when you're not around people who understand you anymore. When you speak, they just don't understand what you're saying, or, or they twist it, or they, shift it, or they somehow, when you try to say how you're feeling, they somehow make it about them. Check. Now, there's loneliness and then there's solitude. Solitude is something you seek. Now, if you're not making any genuine connections and you genuinely feel alone in your environment, sometimes that's because you need to go seek solitude. And yeah, really wrap your mind around how you want to approach this situation, because you can't just sit around and numb yourself and hide the fact that you're lonely all the time. A lot of us spend a lot of time giving way too much to strangers and not taking care of ourselves. And that'll leave you feeling lonely too. You need to take some time to sit in solitude and really work through why you have the emotions that you have. Yes, don't get addicted to solitude either. That can also be numbing. Just hiding from the pain doesn't help either. You have to actually take that time to process what it is you want to do and where it is you're going and how you want to explain this, and then work out, how these people are going to react when you start bringing up these topics and things like that. Nobody's partner likes to hear that their partner feels lonely and depressed, but you have to be able to breach these conflicts, breach these conversations if you want to get out of the all alone in the world feeling. You have to be willing to be vulnerable for a moment. You have to be willing to be vulnerable, and you have to be willing to open up genuinely to, to the person that you need to talk to. You have to be able to be vulnerable. You can't be hiding aspects of yourself and not telling the whole truth and denying things and then cry that you feel lonely and no one understands you and you're just going to numb yourself so you don't have to talk about it. No. You've got to open up and be vulnerable and be able to be who you truly are. And those who don't like who you truly are can just, they can kick rocks. I know a lot of you guys are already working through these kinds of shifts. Some of you have hit a point where you finally, you're realizing you need to move on. Like I said, I've got some friends right now that are doing awesome. It took them a while to get to this point, but they are now officially, separating bank accounts and things like that. And and they're doing it slow. It doesn't have to be this dramatic thing, but it's all as dramatic as you want to make it. And trust me, I've made my life very dramatic at points. Extremely dramatic. And it's, why? Why get mad about these things anymore? Why let it shock you when shitty people do shitty things? I could get mad, like I said, my kids went to that wedding with their dad yesterday, and then I found out that this weekend was one of their little cousins' birthday parties. Now, his family has been bitching at me for years, because I don't let my kids hang out with their kids enough because of some shit that went down when they were little, and that I'm holding a grudge and blah, 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 blah. But then their own grandmother forgot to invite them to the birthday party. She forgot her other grandkids. You know, really? But what am I going to do? I could get mad and start a fight over it and pitch fit. I could pitch a fit that he said he was going to give me child support, but overspent this weekend on his wedding rings and stuff like that. What is the point? What is the point? You can't keep getting mad and causing drama over shitty people doing shitty things. And if that's what's causing the drama in your relationships, and that is a vulnerable, touchy point when you want to start talking about somebody else's family and how they make you feel. But you need to be able to say these things. Which street should we go with today? All right. We got the clown, the dragon, or the heart. Clown's actually my favorite deck in here. I don't know why. All right, so let's see what the cards are saying about all these energy shifts and what's going on with your buddy today. It's funny because I take these decks to the Zen Den too, and I lay them out for people to choose. And it's like every Saturday that I do that, it'll be one deck that'll get picked by 7 different people, and I'll end up using that deck all day because it'll draw everybody's attention for whatever reason. That deck is the one that wants to talk all day. I love synchronicities. I mean, they still trip me out to this day. Beauty of being in Aries, I'm still fascinated by everything. I got 2 hidden here. Actually, I want to see. These are actually 2 of my favorite cards too that just came out. It's Ace of Hearts and the Jack of Diamonds. The Lady in the Mirror. Prince of Passion right there. Oh, too many. I hear you, Ralph. I mean, you know, there's a reason witches in movies live in the woods alone. But because it does. It takes an exhausting amount of energy to hang around people who are not in control of their energy. And when you're working on multiple levels and you can sense other people in crisis or fear or pain or whatever, and you're trying to help all these other people, you know, it's distracting when you've got random people who have no idea what's going on in the world around them. You know, the little news soundbite sheet just causing drama for you. You're like, I don't have time to deal with this. I'd rather just sit alone and go handle my business. It is not lucrative to work on the multiple dimensions, but it is very rewarding when you watch people evolve. I know you'd agree with me on that one, Ralph. All right. We got the Six of Pentacles. Now, I got this over the forgetting oneself. I believe some of you could be being way too over generous. It is time to start setting healthy boundaries with your generosity. There is being generous, and then there is being used, right? You don't know that one. We still have Eight of Swords again today. She's still up in her balcony. She's still waiting. You guys are still taking your time. You're going to let these... if the people around you are being really rocked by the waves and they have no clue why they're acting crazy and they're like, oh, full moons have nothing to do with it, but nurses circle it on their calendar, don't worry about them. Let them go through their waves. Yes, you just keep yourself safe. Keep yourself up on your balcony. Keep observing what's going on. You know, I like this card because this is an Eight of Swords where she is not blindfolded. She is well aware of what she's doing. She has chosen to stay on this balcony because it is safe for the moment. Your personal safety is important. Some of the people who watch these videos are leaving very, very scary situations. So, yes, sometimes it is just safer to observe and make your plans in silence so that you do not get hurt. All right? If they do put your hands on you, do please call the police. Do please press charges. The number one mistake people make when they are leaving an abusive relationship is they allow that narcissist to talk them into not ruining their lives. Ruining their lives? You're walking around with the black eye. Screw it. Wear that black eye like a badge of honor and say, yeah, I put that fucker in jail for that shit. Please, ladies, please. Or men for that matter, too. If a female is putting her hands on you, press charges on her, man. This is not okay in today's society anymore. Enough with the games. Someone has been walking around with the big boy mask on, but they are really actually a small child underneath it, scared in the catacombs alone. All right? So, and that goes down to a lot of that too. Fear causes people to act irrationally. So, a lot of you guys could have someone in your life that is wearing a mask like they are a big baddie grown-up, but really underneath they are a scared child playing games, all right? Scared people make stupid decisions, so just be mindful of that, and they're manipulative. This person is a manipulator. We have the Ace of Cups, and see, she is in the mirror. She's got the tear going down her face. You need to be able to look in the mirror. You need to be able to love yourself. I keep telling you guys this. You have to be able to look in the mirror and love yourself. I don't care what you look like, how much you weigh. I don't care if you had your face burned off. You have to be able to look in the mirror and look at pictures of yourself and be okay with it and not pick yourself apart and not look away. Time to start getting passionate about you. You have to love you so much that it doesn't matter who else loves you. And that is how you draw in someone who will love you with the same amount of passion. All right. He's got 3 spiders down there too. Spiders have been a huge theme lately. Oh, what tangled webs we weave. This person could be somebody already kind of connected to you within a web, right? So you draw in that kind of love by loving yourself. 4 of Pentacles, right? Stability. This is harmony. This is you need to get into an space where you you can reach inner harmony, right? Where you can play your music and practice your music and hone your skills without it causing chaos. You should be able to be open about your beliefs, at least within your own home. I understand how hard this is. I am a witch in the Bible Belt, okay? The tarot reading, out in my backyard, casting circles and lighting fires and chanting in the witch in the Bible Belt. But within my own home, I can do as I please and no one bothers me about it. And everybody understands where I'm coming from. It is important that you are in an environment that you harmonize with. Four of Swords. Time to take some time to recuperate. This is within a cemetery, so take some time to recuperate and call upon your ancestors for some guidance. Not to see, when you call upon your ancestors for guidance, the trick is they are going to come and guide you on how to break toxic cycles. When you look back on your family members of the past and you realize that they were in horrible marriages and things like that, the objective is not to do what they did. The objective is to take the message and lessons of their life. They're bringing you the lessons they learned, and they're saying, look, this didn't work, this did work, whatever it is, however your family worked. If you had a wonderful grandparents or whatever that had beautiful relationships, definitely stick with that. If your family kind of has a sordid past of fighting over money and letting that destroy the family and boozing and all that other nightmare, take those lessons from the past and move them forward. I love it that everybody in my family likes to harp on the fact that my great-grandfather was this horrible, horrible, mean drunk. But what a lot of people do not realize is that grandma was a drunk too. She didn't stay with him all those years for nothing, you know. And I mean, yeah, she sobered herself up after he died, you know, and that's the lesson that a lot of us give those that are, you know, if you have a drinking problem and you drink first thing in the morning, grandma would make her a real strong drink first thing in the morning, and then she would drink half of it and then refill the cup up with no alcohol, and drink half of it and then and just water it down throughout the day, and she would drink that one cup all day long, and that's how she got herself sober. So, you know, for those of you who are battling that particular addiction, there's an idea for you. King of Wands. So this is a visionary. This is take where you can harmonize, take your lessons from the past, from your past ancestors, and this is how can you start moving forward. The King of Wands is a visionary, an entrepreneur. This is someone who is, figuring out ways to not only stabilize their emotional environment, but also stabilize their finances. You should always be looking for ways, and especially if you're struggling with money, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what little things you can do to make a couple extra bucks. I mean, especially with the internet and everything else, there's really no excuses. I mean, go pick up antiques and repaint them. I don't care. You know, donate plasma if you're a healthy person. You know, there's lots of little things that you could be doing that greatly improve your situation. And the King of Wands is the entrepreneur who thinks outside the box for these things. So it's definitely time to put that into play as well. I know. You know, it's funny because I talk about that with an entrepreneur and everything else and doing things your own way. I decided a while ago that I was not going to be that sappy love reading only tarot reader that's only going to sit here and read you romantic relationships and blow butterflies and unicorns up your butt all day about how, you know, and keeping people stuck in these weird toxic type relationships. I wasn't going to be that reader. I'm here to help people become the best versions of themselves. I'm not here to feed some delusion and keep you trapped in a toxic cycle of chasing somebody who's trying to get away from you. You know, I've said it before, I'm not a one and done reader. I like to genuinely help people. So I got the King of Pentacles reversed, the Three of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Ace of Swords. So right now, things are a little chaotic. And I mean, that's just the world at the moment right now. And there's not really too terrible much that we can do about that. Right? So the King of Wands, having a hard time of seeing what it is. You don't think your skills are good enough. See, this is what I'm saying. You could be an entrepreneur. You don't think your skills are good enough. You think, which is fine. Keep working on your skills. You don't have to be perfect and take off right away. There's something you're passionate about. Just start working on it. Start working on it. Start practicing it. Start tweaking it. You know, there's all different ways of learning how to do things, you know, and try different methods and different things like that until you find something that really calls to you. That is how you seize into your High Priestess energy. You've got to tweak it. You can't do it exactly like everybody else. You've got to figure out how to tweak and hone your skills so that you are doing something different than what everybody else is doing. And that's how you move forward. Ace of Swords. I keep saying this too. Power and victory comes through clarity. Clarity of your thoughts and your words. Speak what you want into existence. Keep your mind focused on what you want. Keep moving forward towards that goal. King of Swords. You know, King of Swords is the clear thinking intellectual. So your words and your minds have got to be Prince of Swords. Wow, you guys are just pulling all the swords here. So this is be mindful of your words and stuff like that. Don't be opinionated or too hasty, right? Don't be mean and sharp with your words. I know especially when you're going through a hard time, we all get triggered. And usually, especially if you're cutting somebody out of your life that's causing you a hard time, you're speaking your truth and people are fighting back at you. Just be careful. I see the Devil reversed though. So through all this, through working on your skills, seizing into your High Priestess energy here, being clear with your words, being set in your thinking, and being, you can be swift without being hasty. There's a difference, right? You can be swift without being hasty. Move quickly, but think your way through every step. Don't let people knock you off balance, trigger your emotions, and get you to mess up. A lot of you, my beautiful babies, a lot of you guys are cutting these toxic cords. And I love it. It's beautiful to watch. It's so amazing. And I mean, it just is. It just is. You're cutting toxic cords either to a person or you're cutting toxic cords to your feelings about the past and moving past them. You are getting ready to let go of these addictions and not let them control you anymore. It's beautiful. This shift is so beautiful. I mean, you guys have no idea. I know it seems rough at points, but I don't know. Like I said, at all the readings I've been doing lately, I've just been so amazingly proud of my friends and the shifts that they're doing right now. I'm so amazingly proud because I've spent a lot of my life trying to give advice to friends and stuff like that to get out of terrible situations and talk about addictions and things like that and try to help them with all this other stuff. And they just stayed in it for so long. Well, and that's okay. That's okay. Just talking about how she got triggered last night. That's the other thing. Don't beat yourself up. You, by the way you're talking, you caught it. They triggered you, but you caught it. That's the first step. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, just don't respond at all. I'll just be an unemotional shell of a person. And then, you know, that'll cause these other people to lose their mind. No, it's not about not responding at all. That's not the objective. The objective is to be able to speak your words clearly. Now, of course, anytime you're engaged in the dialogue, they have a chance of triggering you. If they do, be proud of yourself for catching the fact that you were triggered, because that gives you the power to stop, I said, and also there's something to be said when you are in this type of energy where you're observing and watching above. There's something to be said of responding. When you become aware of what you do subconsciously, like when you get triggered and things that you say and stuff like that, when you start becoming aware, and that way it's not so much that you're being triggered, you're just whatever. You're giving them whatever they want in that situation. They want a minute to rail or whatever. Yeah, go ahead. Speak your truth. Good morning. It's time for people to start speaking their truth. And if you are aware that you're being triggered, you can edit your words so that they cannot be used against you. That is a big one too. Be mindful with all these swords. Be mindful of what you are saying, because this isn't just about getting arrested. What you say can and will be used against you. Okay, so you have to be mindful of what it is you are speaking, because they will use it against you. I'm about to go over all the cards that I pulled this morning, honey. This is a reading for the energies today. If you would like a private reading, the links are below. Yeah, it's one of those things. I catch myself doing it too. When somebody starts to trigger me, I go, I just suck in a whole bunch of air and I just stop and I sit for a second. And I was like, catch it. All this fire energy, man. I'm gonna say something mean. Because they will. Yeah. You get triggered, you get mad, you say hateful, hurtful things that aren't true. And then all of a sudden, you're out of the pocket of the argument you were trying to make. You're out of the point that you were trying to make. It's a beautiful thing, right? It's a beautiful thing when you see it on their face. I can't make you respond the way I want you to respond anymore. Ooh. Sometimes that'll trigger them more than anything else. That'll trigger them really bad. But that's how you get the upper hand in these situations, guys. That's how you get control over your own emotions and your own reality. All right. Time for the full recap. Slide all these bad boys down so I can pick up cards. All right, so dark energies that we're facing today from our dark mirror deck is forgetting oneself and alone in the world. You are numbing yourself because you feel lonely, because you're not genuinely connecting on the levels you wish to connect. You're only connected in your surroundings on this 3D material front, and you're not getting the emotional connection that you need. It's time to take some solitude. You need to find your own little island of solitude, someplace where you are safe, that you can think and sift through your energies and figure out what it is you actually want to say and do, and how, think about it, right? If I say this to this person, you know how they're going to respond. So you work it out. If I say this to this person, this is what they're going to do. This is what they're going to say. Okay, well, if they say that, what am I going to do? I'm not going to respond this time. This is what I'm going to say. Work that out. Be vulnerable. Do not be afraid to speak your true feelings and emotions. This is the time to be honest with yourself and with those around you. Explain why there is a disconnect. Explain why you're done. You are allowed to vent this to these people that you are trying to make changes with. You're going to have to open up and be vulnerable, though. You genuinely want change in your life. You're going to have to be honest with yourself and those around you for what it is you want in this life. You know, I know it sounds so simple, but so complicated at the same time. You don't want to upset nobody. All right. There's a difference between being generous and being used. There are some people that are using you that it is time to walk away from. Eight of Swords. If you're choosing to stay on your balcony for a reason, at least take the blindfold off. Like I said before, this is the Eight of Swords. She does not have a blindfold on. She is just waiting for her opportune moment. If you're going to stay stuck, at least have a game plan. At least be observing what is going on and start strategically planning your steps. I have a girlfriend who's with an abusive psycho drunk, and she has been working on months now on separating bank accounts and separating phone bills, and and it's taken her a long time to get to this point because it's a scary shift for her. She doesn't really like change. She likes things to be a certain way, and she likes everything else about her routine except for this one glaring problem that has just been getting worse and worse and worse. So she's totally Eight of Swordsing it. She's totally choosing to stay stuck, but she is strategically making plans without making big, huge waves because this person is dangerous. You've got to be careful, right? Because this person is pretending to be a big boy, but is really a scared little child underneath. That is not your problem to fix. You can't fix that scared little child, man. That scared little child's buried deep in the subconscious of his mind. He locked it in the basement with his shadow that he does not want to see. And then whenever they do what they do, that's when it comes out. That's when it comes out. All right. Kind of focus on falling in love with you again. This is what the Ace of Cups is. How do you get control over your emotions and everything else? And how do you get power back for yourself? You have to love yourself. You have to be able to look into the mirror, not look away. Look into the mirror and genuinely love yourself. That's how you fill your own cup of love. Like I said, see the spiders down there? Oh, what a tangled web we weave. Your lives are very intertwined, and sometimes the most important thing you do is, it took you years and years and years to intertwine yourself that much, so it takes some time to untangle all that shit. But, Jack of Pentacles here. The Jack of Pentacles is very much about a routine, right? So this is self-love should be a practice. It should be a routine that you're doing to love yourself, right? That's how you draw in the actual Jack, right? That's how you actually draw in the new romantic partners. You love yourself so much, it puts you on the frequency of love, and that's how they come in, right? But this is routine. A routine self-love is important. Even if it's working out is self-love, that's working on yourself. But an important message that I gave somebody yesterday is you cannot work out to punish yourself for eating food. Do not work out and punish yourself for being fat. Do not work out and no, if you are working out, exercising, dieting, anything else like that, this is not a punishment. This is, I deserve to love myself, and I'm going to start by loving my vessel first and making it as strong and healthy as possible. Not, I'm punishing myself for eating a cookie or, whatever. All right? That is how most diets and exercise routines fail, because you look at it as a punishment, and everybody gets tired of being punished after a while. Don't you think you've been punished enough? It's time to start doing it out of a place of love. Stabilize, harmonize around you, stabilize the energies around you, and stabilize and harmonize your own money, right? Look to the past, look to your ancestors, look to the strength, go back far enough. You were probably a warrior, just look to them for strength and guidance of how to maneuver forward, But understand also that their guidance and stuff like that, some of these people were living in a different society, and understand we do not live in that society anymore. You do not have to do the same things that your grandparents did. You don't have to ride and die in a toxic, shitty relationship just because they did. It's not how the world works anymore. Like, everybody keeps talking about weddings lately. And that's why I found it funny about the whole Lunasa thing being the wed to be wed to Lou. But I don't know. I like hand fasting better. What? Hand fasting is the first is you promise to be together for a year. Then after a year, you can do for 7 years. And then you can re-up every 7 years, or you get ended after 7 years. But it's not this lifetime, never-ending commitment. I'd rather do the hand fasting. I don't know. I'm never getting married again. I love you so much. Let's get the government involved so you can't leave. King of Wands, the entrepreneur, the visionary. It's time to start thinking outside the box. Think outside the box. There's always something else. There's always something somewhere. There's opportunities around you. You have to be open to receive them. And you can't shut them down as soon as they come in. Whenever somebody brings you in something that is appealing, always, of course, make sure that it is not a scam first. But if it seems genuine, just do a little research. Do some research. And if that's not exactly what you want, you might find something else that can help you bring in some stuff, right? Thinking outside the box, visionary. King of Pentacles. I know it's rough right now, guys. I know it's rough in the world right now. A lot of people broke. A lot of people are having a hard time. A lot of people are rioting instead of going to work. It's weird. It's a very weird world we're in right now. And it's bizarre because it's like people are either so entwined in it or they're so separated from it. Nothing's happening here. Nothing's happening here. There's been no shootings. There's been no drama. I love my little small town. We all get along here. You know? Keep working on your skills. Remember, they do not have to be perfect. Whatever you are starting, whatever new skill you're starting to work on, understand you're not going to be perfect right away. You know, you have to work on them, develop your skills, and that will help you move forward. The better you get, the more muscle memory you get, whether it's working out, whether it's actually working on something, boom. Those small goals of achieving those works will bring you into your high priestess energy where you can start manifesting your own reality. Then you got Ace of Swords, being clear with your words and thoughts. King of Swords, keep it intellectual. You know, I've been telling everybody right now, here's the big shift. People are either shifting back into like a childlike mode where they can't make any decisions or think for themselves, or people are becoming so highly intuitive. But don't get, that's the warning with this one. Don't think you're smarter than everybody else around you either. I mean, this is a big thing too that's been going around. Is a lot of people just assume that everybody else is stupid. They're not, you know. Be mindful with your words. Be careful with your words. And yeah, just take into full thought process that some people do know things that you don't know. And people who are so set on not listening to you, be the intellectual. Understand that they're going to say the sky is purple regardless of what you say. Speak your truth and keep moving forward. All right? Got the Devil reverse. You guys are working so hard on breaking these toxic habits, traits, getting away from these toxic lust connections and all that. Proud of you. Keep doing that. That is the end goal, is to get out of the devil energy. And if you keep on this path, that is exactly what you will do. All right. Our magic cards for today. Self-confidence, strong self-belief and sense of self-worth. Like I said, you got to be able to look in the mirror and love yourself. Achieving small goals on your works, whatever. Every time you achieve a small goal, it gives you just a little bit more of the confidence. Go and talk to the mirror. Whenever you're done doing whatever, do a 7-day workout challenge, or I will create a piece of art every day this week. I will spend an hour working on my art this week, every day. And then at the end of the week, look at yourself and go, I achieved that goal. It will help you get confidence. Water, work with the element of water for healing and purification and refinement. Never underestimate the power of water. Wash away whatever guilt it is you're carrying. You're not stupid. You have not wasted your time. You have learned a valuable lesson. Cry if you must. You know, I am a huge proponent of crying in the shower. I don't know, it's a thing. But that's where I do it. That's where I release all that stuff. You can go ahead and you can ugly cry in there in the privacy of yourself. And then get up, wash your face, clean yourself up, and then you're good to go. I like to do it right before bed. I release all that, and then I wash up, and then I wash my face, and I go to bed, and I feel so much better in the morning because I'm not holding on to all that stuff. It does hurt. You guys have spent so much time intertwined with these people, and like I said at the very beginning, you hold on to these fantastic memories of when it started. I mean, you're not stupid for falling in love with them. Everybody has duality. You fell in love with the beautiful parts of that person. It's just, you can no longer deny that the ugly parts now outshine. They are unbalanced, and it's not your job to balance them. The sun, the golden energy of the sun brings fame and fortune. Keep your focus on target. What is really the center of your world? If you've got no one else to take care of anymore, you are the center of your world. And you should be doing what is best for you and taking care of you. All right? And if you do have young children or things like that that look up to you, just, be aware that they're watching you and you're supposed to be empowering them as well. Also, sun, get yourself 15 minutes of sunshine every day. It's good for you. It's how you get vitamin D. It's how you keep from getting rickets. All right? I love you guys. Blessed be all those who walk these paths with me. I love y'all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, as always, like, share, subscribe. Spank my bell if you enjoyed this. I'll talk to you later.